What's up, you guys? It's Captain Franny. I just want to say thank you for the 443 subs. Thank you for all the likes, views, and comments you guys give me. It's amazing, and I absolutely appreciate it. I'm going to try to keep these videos coming, so just let me know what you want. And of course, today we're not going to be going over a profitability video. We're not going to be doing any of that. We're actually going to be looking at a PC and a mining rig, a budget mining rig at that. So first off, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when you get it, of course. This is like that, right? It's just a regular computer, nothing fancy, right? It even has a pentium in there, not even an i3 or an i5 or an i7, just a pentium, nothing important at all. So you're gonna pop this case off and expose the motherboard. And if you're lucky and you did your research, you're gonna have 4 GPU slots in the form of 1, 2, 3 1x PCIe expresses and 1 16 PCIe express. And if you look on the motherboard, it actually says PCIe 1 times on top of those, and then PCIe 16 times next to the 16 times. So what we're going to be looking at is our risers, and the risers that I like, which are these 6-pin risers. They're from a seller called Mint Cell on eBay. He has great risers, great seller. And yeah, so we're going to start with one. And with this first riser, what you're going to do is plug it into this first 1x slot. And the reason you do that is because that's just what you do. I don't know. That's just what I do. It works every time. And I just want to also say we're going to stay away from these adapters. SATA to 6x, you don't want those. These are fire hazards. Yes, it will work. And yes, you can plug it in there and plug it into SATA, but you don't want to do that. Also, I'm going to tell you guys, look at the power supply. The reason why you can't use these power supplies to run miners is if you look really carefully, it'll say total 103 max watts. That is it on this PC. Most of them, I don't know, maybe go up to 200, 250, maybe even 300. But 100 max watts, you're not going to be able to run even one graphics cards off that. You need at least 150 to 200 watts to run one, and that's at max capacity. So that's why I never suggest running a GPU off your OEM power supply. You let this power supply run the motherboard, and then add an additional power supply for your cards. And I can't even show you the additional power supply yet because I'm still waiting for mine in the mail. It's been over 3 weeks now. It's been crazy. But yeah, we're going to stay away from these adapters. You don't want these adapters. What you're going to do is you're going to get these PCIe cables. And these are fantastic because they're 6x to 8x, right? So if you have a 6x GPU, you can of course just use it for 6 power. If you have 8x, you can just add that additional one and do the 8x. And what you're going to do is you're going to plug in the riser, just like that. Alright? And then you would plug this end into your power supply. And I'll just show you guys on my 4X RX 580 rig, the power supply is it has, I don't know, 12 slots for 6x, and I space them out so that it's not full. But yeah, as you can see, you just plug it in there, plug it into the riser, and then you would take this additional one, plug this guy, this is my second cable, one's already connected, take your second PCIe, no adapters here, just straight PCIe to PCIe, or 6-pin or 8-pin to 6-pin and 8-pin, and then you're going to put this guy, plug them into your power supply, and then plug this guy into your GPU. And that's how you're going to power your mining cards. Alright, so when you go over a couple scenarios, if you only have one card, you're going to plug them into the first 1x PCIe Express slot. If you have 2 cards and 2 slots, what you're going to do is you're going to take this guy, you're going to add an additional card, and sometimes when you do this and you put the second card in the second PCIe right here, you might not get anything. You might get a blank screen, maybe your card won't even start up, and that's an issue. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the second guy, you're going to plug the second guy into the 16 times slot, just like that. And then this guy that's plugged into the 16 times slot, when you add a GPU, you're going to make sure you plug in your monitor to this GPU. Once again, that's because he's in the 16 times slot, so that 16 times slot overrides the video capacity on the motherboard. If you have him like this, and the 2 and 3 formation of the 1 times PCIe, then you would just plug in your monitor to the back, right there, into the motherboard. Other than that, if you have them in this way, you're going to have to plug whichever card is plugged into the 16 times into your monitor. And this is just what you're going to do. I wish I had a power supply, but once again, I'm still waiting on it. But that's how you're going to set up a mining rig. You're going to have your 2 cards set up. You're going to, of course, have them both plugged in with PCIe Express. Make sure these guys are plugged in. And once again, I don't like using adapters. That's the reason I use these Mint Cells 6 pins, because no adapter necessary, no fire hazard, right? So you got these guys, and you'll plug these guys into your external power supply, and I suggest an HP power supply because they're cheap. They're like $100 for the 1200 watts, $70 for the $70 for the 750. Plus you have to buy a breakout board and all the cables, but it's not that bad. Just stay away from these adapters. You don't want to use SATA adapters. You don't want to use any other 6-pin adapters, 4-pin adapters, nothing. You don't want to do that. You want to stick to the PCIe, the 6 pins and 8 pins to one another, because therefore it'll be able to hold more power. There's no adapter and you're good. So there you go. Now you got a rig set up for 2 cards. You can just add more graphics cards by adding more risers. And of course, if you're using RX 580s, you're going to need about 250 watts per card. Minimum. 300 watts would be recommended just because that's safe, you know. If you're using bigger cards like the newer series cards, like a 6800 XT, I believe the max is 450. So you're only going to be able to use 2 6800 XTs with a 1200 watts. So you really have to know what you're doing. Don't ever overload your power supply because it will get hot. This guy's running cool, but he's also maxed out. He has 4 cards on 1200 watt, and these guys all need 300 watts apiece, so 1200 right there, maxed out. So yeah, that's just a quick video for you guys to see what you're looking for. You want those PCIe 1-time slots. If you did your research, your motherboard will have 4 on them. I have a motherboard that has 3 that was supposed to have 4, so you never really know, but just be wary, be aware, and know what you're doing. Never use adapters, only use 6 pins and 8 pins to 6 pins and 8 pins. And also, once again, these risers are from Mint Cell on eBay. Great 6-pin risers. I think they're called the version 6s. So yeah, this was just a quick update for you guys. Once I get the power supply, I'll show you guys how to do the whole tutorial. But I also need to buy new cards, which, as you guys know, finding cards and buying cards is almost impossible right now. I hope you guys are having a good day. You know, middle of the day, it's Friday today. We're still mining. You know, we're still mining on all our cards. I'll show you guys real quick. Current profitability is $34.95. There's the rigs. There's the profitability on each rig. $13.70 on the 4 times 580s. $4.13 on 2 1060s. $4.13 on a 5600. For some reason, that GTX 1060 and RX 480 says 986 profitability, but that's probably incorrect. There's no way that's happening. And the i7 with the GTX 1060 is making 314. So as you can see, I'm still mining. I also have my Better Hash account going. And right there you can see I got 0.11 Ethereum with over almost 4,000 shares payments pending. And then I'll show you guys real quick the Hive OS, just so you guys can see. So we click that guy, it'll pop up. Still need to work on that one card because it's getting invalid shares, but the mega hashes are looking good. Power's looking good. Everything's looking good. The temps You know, I'm keeping them under 70 now. I used to say 75. I'm trying to keep everything under 72 now. And yeah, once again, thank you guys for the comments, likes, subscribes. If you guys can keep those coming, I greatly appreciate it. It helps more than you know. And yeah, once again, thank you guys. This has been a quick update video. First one like this. I'll be updating more once I get that power supply in. It's been delayed 3 weeks, so hopefully I get it in next week. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll post more videos soon. Thank you for watching, and take care.